ready for a wild ride? It's Park Talk Radio. D&B taking shots with hot takes as their ammo. We're talking theme parks, news updates, rides and more. Hold on tight, cause we're about to soar. Talking park, we won't hold back, we're letting it all out. Talking park, get your ears ready, cause we're gonna shout. We'll dive into the ride, some anecdotes, and all the fun. No filter here, just two guys trying to be number one. Get ready for a wild ride. It's Park Talk Radio. D&B taking shots with hot takes, their ammo. Talking park, talking we're about to soar. Talking park, we won't hold back, we're letting it all out. Talking park, get your ears ready, cause we're gonna shout.
Oh baby, oh yeah, we're back, fully staffed. This is Bill, Park Talk Radio, episode 27. We're recording on a Saturday, August 3rd. For all your newest park news in the theme park realm, you may have noticed that we've been missing a crucial teammate for a few episodes, or at least one major episode and an e-stop. Check both of those out. Episode 26, where I take on a little overview of Epic Universe since everything has now been fully revealed. And then the e-stop, of course, that goes into a deep dive oration of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. And now tonight, for a full-fledged blinger, we got Dave here. Hey, buddy. Welcome back.
I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart, I knew that hell would not have him.
I sent him to hell.
That was a terrible Dr. Loomis impression. Sorry, Donald Pleasance.
Lonnie, get your ass away from that.
I shot him 6 times.
Six times. Michael, you're sick, Michael. They're loose. The crazies are loose.
Let me ask you, which Loomis do you prefer? Donald Pleasance Loomis or Rob Zombie Halloween
Malcolm
Loomis?
McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell.
Oh, you gotta go with Donald Pleasance, man. Every single time he tries so hard to hide his accent, and it's not good.
I'm such a Rob Zombie fan that it's hard for me on that. You know, I loved the first Halloween that Rob Zombie did. The second one was complete shit.
Oh, wild. And
garbage
Michael
taken over by a studio. You know, I see where Zombie was going with it, but it just got too whack.
And then we got Michael Gordon Green, who made Halloween Ends, or whatever the fuck. Put him in the wood chipper. He's gone. God.
Oh.
I sent him to hell and it spit him back out. Oh, how's it been going, Dave? Where you been? We've been struggling without you.
I was about to touch on that. I promise I'm not going to make this a habit. I promise I'm not going to make this a habit, but with your travels and my schedule, I have not been able to. We've not been able to run it. I think I miscommunicated the last week. So, you know, I thought you were going to be available one night, and then I was like, oh, and you were in Chicago. I was like, oh, my bad. So I will not make this a habit. I've worked 8 days in a row. It is currently 10 o'clock where I'm at, and I have to go scuba diving for work tomorrow morning at 5:30. So,
oh, you're gonna make a lot of people mad. You're gonna sound real privileged. I gotta go scuba diving tomorrow.
Well, it's for work, so it's not.
Oh, he's getting paid to scuba dive. Oh, damn, this guy. Living at the beach, seeing all the biddies. Oh,
it is a place where the tiger sharks have been hanging out, so that'll be cool.
Well, that's all good. You think a professional podcast, 27 episodes with plenty of other bonus content, would have a marked out schedule, weeks at a time? Surely not. Not here. Not at PTR.
No, I will tell you though, if you donate to our Patreon, which we do not have yet, then I can quit my job and we can do this permanent and put out 5 episodes a week for you guys.
Oh my, you could put out 5 episodes a week. I can't.
Oh.
It could be a lot of donations for us to both quit. We'll work on you
we can
first.
make it happen.
We'll work on you first, so you can come back to the parks a bit more often.
Yes,
since that's
that would
not
be perfect.
a privilege that you currently have enabled on your.
Well,
lifestyle.
hopefully, if this takes over and we can start, maybe one day, knock on wood, get some media and stuff like that, and hopefully the financial burden of everybody in the world right now becomes a little more manageable, and I will definitely be back at the parks more often. This is very rare for me to not have come to the parks since last Halloween time. So
Absolutely, yeah, I remember you usually at least
actually
one
no,
other visit.
I came in February, so
I don't remember that.
it was a quick one. It was a quick one. I stayed at your house, and you tore me up.
Feel like that was a year ago.
You tore me up on old fashions.
Whoops. Well,
And then
yes.
I laid under your dining room table while your dog was licking my face.
well, yes, it's the world's fault that you're not rich. Pegged it.
Don't
They
be
don't.
poor.
They don't donate enough money because they don't have money, and it's their fault. Not not the
I don't
podcast
ever-
success.
I don't ever play the lottery. I don't ever do scratchers. Very rarely will I do scratchers.
Oh, you look like a scratcher man through and through.
No, I'm
You
not.
got
I'm
to
not a
scratch your
scratcher man.
fingers. I see the gray dust.
I bite my nails, so I can't use my fingernails. I bought a $50 scratcher the other day.
Oh.
And as I was scratching it, I got a number on there, but it wasn't a number. It said 10 times, and I said, "Yes, Park Talk
is this it?
Radios, Park Talk Radios. We're in the gold. We're not in the black anymore, or the red, or whatever it is." And then I scratched it off, and it was only 10 times 10, so I only got $100 on a $50 ticket.
Shit, that's
so,
that's 100%.
like, damn,
We're rich.
That's-
it. This is it. We're quitting. The show's done. We're out of
that's enough. That's enough for me to get off the Happy Meal at McDonald's. That's about it.
Just barely. Now, if you're importing the Japanese one to get your Jaws toy. Well, speaking of, if you want to help us out, maybe not monetarily, but you can still engage with us and share the show and what we do across the internet. Park Talk Radio at Park Talk Radio on all your social media feeds: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Big TikTok resurgence right now. Brennan, social content creator, just got a brand bunch new of content, is sending out some stuff. If you saw her post on Thursday, we did a little park visit, which we'll get to here in a moment. You could also send us an email, parktalkradio@gmail.com, if you have any sponsorship requests. We would be glad to do them for you. And then, of course, also text and voicemails, 407-490-2220. We haven't got one in a while, Dave. I think they're drying up. People forgot how to talk. It's just us.
I just had a great idea. I don't know how you feel about it. It's kind of, if you people don't know me quite yet, I'm a very spur of the moment, throw shit out of nowhere type of guy.
Oh no.
You'll be talking to me, telling me a story, and I'll say something else totally off the cup just because I think of things randomly. So we need to hold a contest,
A talent show.
whether it be a voicemail or something like that, or a way to pick a winner. And one lucky person, maybe two lucky people, are going to get to compete with us in the Jurassic Mile.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, spur of the moment, man. I just thought of it. So
Fuck.
people do what's called a beer mile, where they run a lap.
Yeah.
And they drink a beer. They run another lap. They drink a beer. They run another lap. They drink a beer.
They do
until they get to a
4
mile.
beers and they do a quarter mile, right?
It's a full mile. They do.
Oh
a
yeah,
lap,
every quarter
which is
mile you get a
yeah,
beer.
Every quarter mile they drink a beer. Yeah.
Oh,
So
too much
we
running.
will be hosting our first annual Jurassic Mile sometime next year. I'm serious about this. So what we will do is we will ride Jurassic Park River Adventure, drink a beer. Ride Jurassic Park River Adventure, drink a beer. We will do that for 8 cycles. I don't know why it's called the Jurassic Mile, because it's probably way more than a mile, but
It's a lot of
we
beer.
want
That's a
one or
lot of
two
waiting
lucky
in line.
people. Hey, that's if that's something sounds like would float your boat, we'll make that happen, and we'll get one or
man.
two of y'all to come out and do the Jurassic Mile with producer Brennan, Bill, and myself.
Oh god,
and
who's
Lady
buying these
Ballsack.
beers?
We're each going to buy our own beer, except for if you win the contest, we will buy 4 of your 8 beers.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So you
and then
get
if we
4
win,
beers
they
out of
buy ours?
I mean, I don't think
Probably
we're in
not.
a competition. We're just
confident we're gonna win.
We're gonna end up begging somebody to do this with us.
Oh well, I don't think anyone's gonna do it because you go buy 8 beers and that's, oh god, that's $100 easy. And that's not counting if you get the good. If you're, is there a beer requirement? Do you have to drink the Jurassic Park IPA? Because you're gonna be yakking.
No, you don't. You can drink whatever.
First one's the IPA.
Okay, drinks. They don't have to be beers.
Oh god, now 8 liquor
kind of-
drinks, $200.
So I mean,
I like the thought. No, I like the thought.
I think it's a great idea. I think
Not
it's a
to
great
completely
idea.
shit on it. I think it's fun.
Think about it.
I think it's being
Anytime you and I go to the park together, do we drink more than 8 drinks during the day? Yes, absolutely. If there's no horror nights at night, yes,
8?
very much so.
8?
Very doable.
Well,
Very doable.
without horror nights, okay, all right. I'm you know what? I'm in. There might be a
horror
bit
nights
more
after,
fun to
yeah.
have if you have to run around Camp Jurassic or play hide and seek in Camp Jurassic, but.
And then we finish the day with Cat in the Hat.
I don't think the ride is going to be the problem here, or the wall. It's drinking 8 beers and then stomaching not only the liquid volume but also $100 of theme park brews.
This is a full day event.
Not if it's a walk on, and then you're also going to get wet at some point because we're going to have different seats.
We just
I
take
think
our time.
Dave, I'm still in. It's still fun.
All right, you're in. You're.
I'm in.
Co-host
Brendan will
Dave
just
made
record and do a time lapse video of the nonsense.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad we have a good competition in place. So if you want to submit yourself, please give us a voicemail or text message. Send us an email. Let us know you want to try it out, you want to do it, or if you do it on your own, or have any sort of in-park challenge that you like to do. Doesn't have to necessarily involve drinking. Please let us know about it. We love to talk about it and hear you talk about it yourself on the show. And speaking of the show, let's get into it. Top of the show, we do our park visit. If we've done any park visits, I'll turn it over to Dave first, of course, as we do every session. Dave, what park have you visited lately since we?
Oh, so many of them. So many of them. So many of them. No, I haven't been to any. Although I do have a few things in the cocked, locked, and loaded for this next coming up year. So
Ooh.
That's good.
Well, I myself did make it over to Universal a couple times in this past week or so. Nothing spectacular, nothing really different from your normal visit. Content creator Brennan and I, we like to just go walk around, grab a snack, watch a show, and then if we can catch a ride, of course, get on one. But the lines have been just horrendous, despite it being a slow summer at the theme parks. Though our most recent visit, you may have caught this on TikTok.
Tic-tac.
My little TikTok on TikTok. We went this past Thursday to Universal, as it was the day after the big announcement for Harry Potter Ministry of Magic World over at Epic Universe. And they sometimes put out stuff and have like a little, and of course the new AR piece at the Epic Universe Preview Center has now been enabled. So I wanted to go check it out. They have some new merch out there with the tribute store, summer tribute store with the Mega Movie rental, and just hang out for a little bit. We've been bottled down in the house trying to save some money, and since we both have passes, it's already it doesn't cost too much more from there. So we went, and it was starting to look pretty dreary outside as we're leaving. I was like, that's fine. Looks like it's probably gonna blow over, and we drive through the rain and said, okay, maybe it's already past the parks at this point. We park, and as soon as we get out of the car in the garage of ET Parking Garage Level 2, just absolute monsoon. Pours down like you've never seen, like you thought this tropical storm was already here. And we get stuck at in the moving walkway area right before the entrance to City Walk, where it opens up to the Esplanade. And you see the movie theater and it's just pouring rain. People are running. The security guards are screaming, don't run, putting their hands up. And multiple people just busting ass. Slipping down, falling on their butt ass and just scream, ah, my ass. Oh, drenched to the bone. Shirts were ripped off. People were walking around shirtless. It was wild. Pretty insane to see how crazy the raining. And she got a good video of how much rain was coming down. And there's some other videos and pictures out there, of course. Can't give any credit, unfortunately. But with how much water came from the sky and filled up the lagoon in Universal Orlando, the projection boxes that are waterproof, airtight, were floating out of their little holster in the water, which, not so great. So we did a lap, went on ET, saw the drone show from Duff Bar, and then headed on out. Had a nice little time. Something that we did notice, Thursdays, they've once again reduced hours at City Walk. They are open till midnight. However, the restaurants if it's a restaurant with a bar and not a nightclub or a club setting like Rising Star or Patos, we would try to go Big Fire and Vivo. Both closed 10 o'clock now. No longer 11. Even the bar.
So I don't get, when I worked for Universal, City Walk was a popular nightlife place, you know? And it's like, are you trying to turn this into Disney Springs? You know, I don't get the early closures.
I'm sure they would like to be closed at 11 all across the entire campus. I mean, I don't think it's very hard to discern what the problem is. It's paying team members and the overhead of keeping this open an extra hour or two during the week when, you know, Monday night, who's Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday, who's there till 2 a.m?
I would be.
Yeah, you, but we're the freaks. We're the addicts.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I saw
It's
busy
annoying.
nights throughout the week when I worked there, but
For me, it's really that you have a set time of midnight or 11 for the weekday at City Walk. And I came and get into, like, we were leaving and we took our time walking out of Universal. We stopped in some stores to pick up some stuff. We wanted to grab one more drink before heading home for the night. It's a Thursday. And some of our favorite bars, Big Fire and Vivo, because they have really good drinks, and it's not just the standard, here's an old fashioned, not a regular old fashioned, here's a Moscow Mule, you know, the plain old. 10 o'clock. It's just frustrating.
well, I just remember the last time we went to Rising Star together.
Oh, yeah. That was with Barry, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was there that night.
I remember
No,
one of the last times we went. It was with him.
It was me, you, Caitlin, Steven, and Joe.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That's
when
right.
you ditched us at Oh Shucks, and then we had to walk all the way back to Cabana Bay.
Well, it would have been a fine walk if people didn't get too upset with their drink in hand.
Oh man, yeah. People ended up in the bushes on the way back.
That's fine.
Nevertheless, we went to Rising Star, and you know, people were the place was full. We were buying drinks. There was a long list of people waiting to sing, and they still closed at, I think it was 10 or 11 that night. It was a weekday because it was a non-Horror Nights night during the run of the event.
Yeah.
But they still closed at 10 with the place was full up. All the booths and seats were taken. People were buying drinks. There's a long list of people waiting to sing, and they were full up. And they still closed at 10 that night, I think.
Well, maybe that's what we're seeing. Less of the restaurants and more of just the clubs being open past 10 o'clock now. Because they'll make money at the clubs. And then still, only midnight or 1 a.m. for old City Walk. Which just leaves me questioning, what's going to happen at Epic? Because right now, there's no City Walk 2. And there's not really a nightlife area. Though I believe there are plans to have Celestial Park open later than the rest of the worlds. Because there's plenty of bars there based on permits. And there's plenty to do and plenty to eat. And also go hang out at Helios Grand. But we'll see. Nonetheless, as you also said, it was a great time. Always good to go to the parks. We're actually headed back there again tomorrow to hang out with good friend of the show, Xandra. And go see
Must be nice.
Yeah, it is nice. I got to tell you, it's fucking great.
Fucking hate all of you. I hate all of you.
We'll head in there tomorrow. We'll head in there tomorrow, and we'll see how bad the tropical storm is impacting our lovely theme parks. So that's our park visit for the week. As we keep inching closer and closer, we are less than 30 days away. We are just about, at the time of recording, 4 weeks away from grand opening night of Halloween Horror Nights 2024, Halloween Horror Nights 33. We are less than that from the team member preview, where we'll get some first remarks and first looks, and then Premium Scream Night is on August 29th. Lots coming and lots to go over.
Let me share the scoop from the heart of Central Florida. It's all about the loop, theme parks, roller coasters, and magical thrills. The latest buzz, we're keeping it real. Welcome to Park Talk News Update, where the excitement begins. From Orlando to the world, we're bringing the news in. Grab your popcorn, get ready for the ride. Park Talk Radio, we're going worldwide. Oh yeah!
Some Halloween Horror Nights news for Universal Orlando, since this one does start before Hollywood. And we're going to start at the top of the show, still saving it for the end. And since the last time Dave and I had a time to sit down and record, there's been a few announcements that have come out. They've finished out everything for Universal Orlando. They've announced everything. They've not given specific details to one scare zone. However, the rest is out there. And we're going to jump right in and start talking about those announcements. Now, forgive me, Dave. Did we talk about the Duality of Fear scare zone?
I do not believe so.
All right, so this was an announcement back on July 24th. That week of July, they were just doing a new scare zone per day, and they dropped some more information. I believe the last thing we did talk about was the Nocturnal Emissions Scream and Cream Fire Dance Show in Fear Factor Live.
Yeah, that piece of shit.
Well, no, I think it's gonna be. I mean, there's a lot of people that like it. I think it's gonna be still decent. But maybe the better name, Nocturnal Emissions. Get ready for a wet and wild slip and slide down the metal benches. You're pretty good at that.
Yeah, I've almost fallen down those stairs multiple times. But
it's okay to like something. It's okay to enjoy it. I know Dave and I both have very strong opinions on this particular piece of media available at Hard Nights.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to like it. It's okay to enjoy it, but you're wrong.
Oh, no. You know what? You are wrong.
You're wrong.
But I hope you enjoy it and you get to see as much as you can. It's a very popular show. And again, a recommendation, get there at least 45 minutes early, especially for the first or last show of the evening. It's very popular. Duality of Fear, however, will be the first scare zone you walk through. You are mandated to walk through it. You can't skip this one. Only because of the logistical walking path. As soon as you walk through the turnstiles of Universal Studios Orlando for your Halloween Horror Nights adventure, you're going to walk right into Duality of Fear. And the exact wording, as it says, as soon as you enter Halloween Horror Nights, you must choose a path. The visceral horror of sinister or the unearthly terror of surreal. Have you seen how they spelled these names, Dave?
Yeah, but I didn't look really into it. So I didn't pay too much attention to it. So
it appears to be they're really leaning into the 3. A lot of the announcements have been at a 10:33 in the morning. And
yes.
Sinister and Surreal,
yes.
They have, instead of the E in both of their names, they have the letter, or the number 3, since it's the 33rd Horror Nights event. And instead of making a good storyline or something that marketing can really run with, let's just use the number 3. It seems like an easy path. I don't necessarily, coming from, 20 years. 20 years ago? Yes, 20 years ago. Oh my god. Over 20 years ago. It feels lazy. However, these are not icons. I will never acknowledge them as icon. Pumpkin Lord, also not my icon. And Bones, not my icon. They are not Hard Nights icons. These appear to be physical manifestations of the feeling of sinister or the feeling of surreal. And they are mascots. That's a word that's being tossed around. That these are the mascots of the event this year. One is sinister, one is surreal, and it's the entrance Horror Nights scare zone for the event, and they will go a little bit longer and further this year. The one path will go deeper and almost sync up, connecting into the Hollywood scare zone, and the other one will then go, allegedly, go up to New York and connect it, and saying you'll pass through, you have these two pathways, and they'll be distinctly different with different performers, costumes, and masks, and you have to pick which one you want to go, which way of fear you like to choose.
So with this whole situation, with the whole 3 thing, I wanted to touch on, you have 2 different departments that really get their hands dug into Horror Nights. You have creative and you have marketing. Marketing seems to have taken a lot of the reins when it comes to stuff like that lately, and it's probably a marketing decision. A lot of the stuff we see that marketing gets their hands on, it's just...
Well, you can look at it. You can look
clever,
at the
but they're not.
merchandise that's out right now, and the new merchandise that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. It's all very 90s grunge, pop, punk, and none of the houses or zones really elicit that kind of feeling or artwork or graphics.
Well, you can tell. Marketing is a strong portion of theme parks, but you can tell the marketing team did not start out as true fans of Halloween Horror Nights. They do not get the picture.
No,
that's my opinion.
That's another whole nother conversation of getting a separate, segregated department to have the investment and personal buy-in to a project. And oh man,
That's not a dig at anybody in marketing. They do a great job at trying to push the event. They do a great job.
They do well,
but they do not hit the nostalgia and they do not hit where Horror Nights came from.
Right.
So
beyond that, not too much more on Duality of Fear. You'll see these 2 individuals with the graphics for the scare zone. You have these 2 faces. No real discerning if if there's any sort of gender one way or another. I think they're just gonna be them. They're just ideals or ideas of sinister and surreal existing, and some of that has been updated to the other scare zones, such as Torture Fair. That is now being, it says on the website that this is one of Sinister's scare zones. This exists under Sinister's rule. So they're tying it in a little bit. At least the scare zones are being kind of looped in together based off this one kind of ideal of sinister and surreal.
okay, I can get on that.
And then that brings us to the next scare zone that was announced on maybe July 24th as well. I think they did 2 on that day. This next one is the Demon Queens.
Demon Queens. And with the graphic, it has Demon Queens. It has a very spacey, otherworldly kind of looking thing with purple, and then 5 silhouettes of, I guess, the alleged Demon Queens. Nothing specific, not IP related. This is all original. Quote on the Demon Queens: "Get caught in an otherworldly hellscape, ripped from the darkest corners of your mind, where 4 merciless queens loyal to Surreal rule." So Demon Queens is led by Surreal. In this graphic, you have 5 of the silhouettes. In the middle is going to be Surreal, and then 4 queens surrounding her on the sides. Usually this is it's kind of nice going into this kind of blind, because usually with the scare zones, you can really kind of know what you're getting yourself into. Mm-hmm. But this is so, I was going to say, what's the word I'm looking for? Not detailed, but very opaque / undefined, that it's
pretty loose with
exciting,
the concept,
because you're like, okay, this could be cool. I just don't know I can't imagine what it's going to be in my mind.
I'm envisioning
that's a good thing.
The female Cenobite from Hellraiser. Just there's 4 of them.
I mean, and that's I like going to Horror Nights being surprised. So I mean, I like it.
And this is going to be,
it's not painting a picture for me yet.
In the New York area, which is the biggest one, and typically reserved for what they'll try to curate as the fan favorite, or the more fun, still scary to a degree, but more fun zone. I'm glad it's not Vamp.
I'm so sick of Vamp. Ugh.
All right, on to our next Horror Nights announcement that we are catching up on. I'm going in date of release and announcement. The Final House, and this is for both coasts. The final house for Universal Orlando, at least, it's the consistently done and usually well done and fan enjoyed Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. Have you seen anything about this one?
So I have. I have got. Go and read the description first, and then
Sure.
I'll touch on this.
Let me give you a picture, orated piece of what the visual looks like. The art, I would say, is one of the worst ones they've done in a while for monsters.
Yes.
It's not very good. Just Uncanny Valley doesn't look great. But the art, we see what appears to be a female or bride of Dracula, a female Van Helsing, and then Bride of Frankenstein holding 2 daggers and then a whole leather strap across her breast with multiple knives in it, which is pretty wild visual here. In Universal Monsters: Eternal Bloodlines, guests will get caught in an epic battle as Saskia, Van Helsing, and the Bride of Frankenstein go up against Dracula's daughter and her monstrous mavens, She-Wolf and Anuk-Sunamun, which is a female wolfman, and Anuk-Sunamun is female mummy.
Can you say that again, please?
Anuk-Sunamun. Anuk. Anuk.
A knocks in a moon?
A knocks in the moon?
A knocks in a moon.
I'm gonna knock you to the moon.
So I like that they're throwing in the female Wolfman, the female, a knocks in a moon from
Right. These are, and I want to make something
classic
clear real
Brendan
quick.
Fraser movies.
Yeah, I want to make something
Go
clear
ahead.
real quick. These are not like made up for just the house. These are all characters who have existed in official movies or novels prior to this announcement.
Correct. So I love that they're going the female route with the characters. We've seen the male versions of the classic monsters time and time again. So I love that they're going the female version. My problem with this house is that we saw Bride of Frankenstein 2 years in a row in 2020 and 2021, and it wasn't one of my favorite houses. It was a great storyline, fun house to be able to go through, but it just didn't click all my buttons. A lot of people love that house, but this house is really, really pushing that kind of narrative again. Bride of Frankenstein versus they were the brides of Dracula, I believe, in that house, not daughters. But
Right. We just have the one daughter.
pushing that narrative again, and we saw it twice in a row, and it was a great house to be able to go through, but at the same time, it's like I've seen it, been there, done that. So if this house really follows in those footsteps, it's not going to be one of my favorites. I am a huge fan of the Bride of Frankenstein classic movie.
So good. Iconic vision.
Love the movie.
Visuals.
Love the movie. I loved the Universal's take on it back in 2020 and 2021. I just wasn't a huge fan of the house in general, but I love the take on it. I love the story. It was great. It was good in that sense.
Oh yeah, story super good.
wasn't my
And
favorite
for those who
house.
may not have gotten to it, it was Bride of Frankenstein Lives, and Frankenstein dies. The creature, he dies, he gets crushed by a huge pillar, and the Bride of Frankenstein starts capturing the other Universal monsters to suck out their life force and power and bring them back. It's badass.
It was a direct sequel to the Bride of Frankenstein movie. At the end of the Bride of Frankenstein, she wakes up, screams because she sees Frankenstein, and he says, "We belong dead," and destroys the castle, and that's the end of the movie. So it was a direct sequel to that, and she feels bad and tries to bring him back to life by harvesting the blood of the Bride of the Bride of Dracula's people's things.
Monsters.
People's things. But to me, this house is really, it's just screaming, something we've already seen.
And this is
But
down in one
I
of the
could be
new
wrong.
tents, correct?
I have not looked that far into it. I believe so.
Okay,
That's
I
what
think
the
this
spec
is-
map was saying. So to me, it's just something we've already seen at this point. But I'm still going to go in there open-minded, and I'll probably enjoy this house. But to me, it's kind of touching those lines of something we've already seen.
That's been done.
Plus,
We've seen it. We haven't seen
just got
the
just
daughter
got-
of Van Helsing, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'd rather wait and see what the classic Monsters ride and Dark Universe has to offer with Victoria Frankenstein.
No,
and stuff
that's
like
gonna be
that,
that's
so.
gonna be good. Don't worry about that one.
So yeah, no, I'm excited for that. I'm just hoping they're not trying to really piggyback off that. And
Well, would have
I don't
been a
know.
great tie-in if they did like a little prequel house here.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about this house? Do you feel like it's touching too close on what we've already seen, or do you
I
think
think
it's
there's
going to
enough
be
different
new and
to it.
innovative?
Well, it's
Okay.
enough different to it, and there's other houses I'm less excited for, and that's something we should have done before show. Is hey, we have all the houses announced. What's our pre-hype ranking?
Next week.
next week,
we're gonna
yeah.
go with next week. We'll go the ranking.
Yeah, and then Hollywood should also have their full reveal completely done. We can do that one as well at the same time. As I was saying, this one's probably middle of the pack. There's stuff I'm less excited for. Major Sweets, Goblin Feast, Insidious. Oh God. And I look forward to seeing a slightly different take and what they can do inside one of these new tents. As the new tents, the new sprung tents are huge. They are alleged to be able to contain, at least on a horizontal path, as much as a soundstage house. It's clearly not going to be as tall, and I just find it hard to believe that there's enough room in these two things, in that footprint, and also be able to do
I think
that kind of the scale.
so. I'm under the impression that they're going to be very similar to the tents that are put up at Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood.
Oh yeah, they look very similar to size and
Yes.
sizing. Hope, but no black walls.
Yeah.
So that's what we got. The one last thing I want to touch on this is I don't know how we got so fucked on this coast. We'll have Emmy-nominated composer Sarah Barone for Universal Studios Florida. Over in Hollywood, they got fucking Slash composing the music
Again.
and playing it there.
Well, Murdy has always been a fan of Slash, Cooper.
Sure,
some great
send us some
bands.
love. Just send us the same soundtrack.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Minor annoyance. Most Universal Monster houses are really good, usually in the top echelon, top half for sure, if not, top 3 or 4. We'll see how it goes. And then finally, as far as Horror Nights is considered, the final scare zone for Universal Orlando was also announced over in San Francisco, outside the Fast and Furious supercharged exit. Enter the Blumhouse. And they've announced no IPs, which products or movies will be represented at the Blumhouse scare zone.
Megan, Sinister, Insidious.
Well, Megan has
doubt
is
we'll
gonna,
see. I doubt we'll see Five Nights. I don't see that happening. I don't know. I guess
Megan's
we'll
gonna
see.
have the dance show wandering around by Gramercy Park. However, I don't know if Megan's gonna be in there as well, because San Francisco's already a cluster with how congested it gets. If you put Megan in there, oh god, the photos, the line.
We'll see Black Phone.
I like Black Phone, the
yeah.
grabber.
Oh yeah, great movie. So, I used to say that Blumhouse was the New Line Cinema of New Line Cinema was the 80s, early 90s
Like
horror
indie horror.
icon.
Yeah.
Blumhouse was becoming that, but Blumhouse has put out a lot of trash lately. So we'll see how it goes. They used to have hit after hit after hit, and you knew if you saw the Blumhouse logo pop up, you were getting a great horror movie. Now they've put out stuff like Imaginary and Night Swim and stuff like that, and it's like, we'll see what they decide to put in there.
Oh, I hope they put Night Swim in Enter the Blumhouse, put him right in the lagoon.
Yeah, just jump right into that.
There it is. I see the Night
Fisherman's
Swim.
Wharf.
San Francisco
I mean,
is going to be a mess.
I tend to enjoy San Francisco scare zones, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and speaking of that, they've erected a lot of props and stages in the Enter the Blumhouse area. Big scaffold, big trusses, and a marquee that says Blumhouse on it. A couple stages that have the Blumhouse logo with BH, so big honkers scare zone.
Big honkers. What, so, of my years of going to horror nights, some of my favorite scare zones are set up like that. When you look at stuff like Seven back in 2011,
In Hollywood.
you look at stuff like Crypt TV. You know, that
Crypt TV was fun.
It was fun though. I love a good scare zone where you have a main focal point of a stage and then minions running around scaring you after your attention's focused on the stage. So I think it'll be fun. I think it's going to be a fun scare zone where, you know, you walk through the different stages where there's different characters and they have their little minions running around scaring you while your focus is on them. Some of my favorite scare zone designs. So I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. It all depends on what properties and what movies they use to represent in Enter the Blumhouse. Right now they have a couple, like I said, a couple stages, some little scenic work walls, and then they have 3 projectors set up, recessed pretty deep towards the clock of the Fast and Furious exit. And then they've taken all the cars out of the exit of Fast and Furious. So I'm not sure if the scare zone is going to go that deep into the area.
Oh, I think they tend to do that
Just
every year.
For theming.
Not for theming, but just to make sure nobody gets intoxicated and screws with
Oh,
it.
well, that makes sense.
I'm not sure if that's a yearly thing, but I think they've done that in the past. I'm not 100% positive.
It seems really far back and recessed for these projectors to be set up for this particular scare zone. And speaking of those props being set up for scare zones, we also have a couple more pieces here before we get off Orlando Horror Nights. Over in Diagon Alley, and specifically in Nocturne Alley, they have set up, pardon me, they've set up several stages and props for where the Death Eaters will be positioned throughout, and you'll see those available only on the Halloween Horror Nights evenings inside Diagon Alley, within their stages and walking around and interacting with guests, as this whole area will be available and open. So this is something that they've done a couple years now, very popular, and is returning once again. You'll see props and lighting inside Diagon Alley set up for that. Over in New York, in regards to Horror Nights construction, they've set up the regular stage that they do normally every year. It did seem a bit smaller when Brandon and I walked through there the other day, Dave, however. And this is supposed to be the Demon Queen's scare zone. Just appears a lot smaller than the normal one.
So it appears a lot smaller than normal scare zone there, is what you're saying?
Yeah, over in New York, you know how they usually have a big stage and then put your hand down.
So I'm wondering if that has anything to do with the new parade that comes through there.
Parade will not be running. Oh, no, parade will be running.
Yeah, during
Parade
the
runs
daytime.
at 2 o'clock on Horror Nights days.
I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it.
Maybe. That's a good thought. I did not take exact measurements, but we will see. Over in Gramercy Park, where they usually have a large bar and food offerings, this is across from Mel's and Transformers. Not only has the bar been set up, they've also installed a couple lighting trusses and light towers, as well as large television screens facing towards the bar away from the lagoon, which is a new addition. Rumor to have some interactive elements and actual performers, maybe similar to David S. Pumpkins as of last year. I don't want to see that man ever again.
You said over by Gramercy Park.
Yeah, in Gramercy Park, where they have that big bar.
Okay.
And they have additional scaffolding and trusses set up where you could probably put a marquee.
Where the Creed music video was filmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I think we very rarely stop at that bar. It's usually your generic
well, it's not full liquor.
pre-made drinks.
Yeah. And the specialty beers. Not full liquor, so it's not something we usually go to. Typically there's a really good food item. Last year that Blutter burger, peanut butter smash burger with the red bun. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. So good. And then over in Central Park, Swamp of the Undead, that one looks nearly done. Everything's pretty much set up.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about any parade or anything like that. They can flush that out pretty easily. Again, not one of my favorite Scare Zone locations
No,
because they're so redundant. But
they had to really theme it to the large. Hold on. Yeah, they really have to theme it to Central Park. So it's a lot of foliage and trees and grass, and it's usually because it's also very small walkways, and it makes it difficult to get through. And I always feel bad for the characters because they can't do their job in that zone, especially on the extremely busy nights. They're just set to the sides, and they gotta stand in a one spot and try to scare them. They might as well be in a house.
This is a great time for a little bit of a Horror Night story. Were you with me the one time that we were standing there and the Dragon Warriors were in that Scare Zone?
Is that the one where the guy was screaming UTI?
No.
Oh, no.
I don't. So one of our friends was working as one of the Dragon Warriors, one of our friends at the time.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Dragon Warriors knew that we knew people in that set, and I'm standing there. I've got probably, I always goof up and buy more Blinky cups than I need, and I probably had everybody else's Blinky cup in my backpack. I had about 10 in there, and one of the characters, unbeknownst to me, was crouched down behind me while I was standing there, and one of the other characters came out of nowhere, out of the fog, and just jumped right in my face. And literally, it was like a kid in high school had pushed me, and I was falling backwards over the kid who was on his hands and knees behind me. And I landed straight on my back. Next thing you know, I opened my eyes. There's a flashlight in my face from the coordinator, and they were like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And they heard the loud crack, and all 10 of my Blinky cups broke in my backpack because I landed directly on my back.
Oh my god.
So.
Oh man, that's 10 of them, huh? That's a lot.
Yeah, that was not a good year for Scare Zones with me. So. They threatened to kick me out at one point because I went up to one of the beasts and was like, "Oh, I'm a Cerebin. I'm a Cerebin." I was over in New York.
Nerd.
I was being a nerd, and the coordinator came up to me, and which I knew one of the Cerebin,
right?
But one of the beasts. But the coordinator came over to me and started yelling, "Do not talk to the scare actors." And I was like, I wasn't even messing with him. I was like, he had come up to me and like was not like trying to scare me and was just like looking at me and
wow, I can't recall the last time someone said don't talk to them.
It was whoever the coordinator was that night was overstepping their bounds because I was not harassing anybody. I was not, I did not approach the scare actor. They approached me. I didn't say anything bad, and it was just like, wow, okay, all right, cool. Power trip is what that was, but.
That's what you do, man. You give them an extra $1.
And that was the year that Gwen got the window broken on her.
Oh, well. You showed them.
Yeah, I got 5 minutes of Gap Gold.
Damn. So good. So good. Yeah. Little tip here. If you break your Blinky cup at a Horror Night, since your first, and this is maybe your first year, you don't know this, you can go to any bar and say, "Hey, I broke it." They'll typically give you a new one without too much trouble. Or just say, "Hey, it stopped working." Because at the end of the event and at the garage sale, they sell them for 99 cents.
Oh, yeah.
49 cents sometimes.
And you can find them on eBay all over the place.
Yeah. A couple merchandise items have been announced and released already for Halloween Horror Nights 33 in Orlando. Announced but not released. A very popular item that was last year.
Piss me off.
And sold out extremely quick. The Chucky popcorn bucket that moves, blinks, and eyes light up is returning for Halloween Horror Nights 33, and he is donning the Child's Play 3 stitched up look. And he holds a knife and he moves around. It's very cool. You get a bucket, you get a thing of popcorn.
You said it sold out, but it did come back toward the end of the run because I have one of those stupid fucking things at my house.
Very popular. Very, very popular. And it came with like not Nashville hot popcorn. Also very good.
Yes.
And a couple more merch items here. They transformed the Halloween shop in Islands of Adventure to the All Hallows Eve Boardwalk Little Boutique. I'm over it. I don't need Little Boo.
That's why you're going to piss me off because I'm sick of the vomit of Little Boo.
It does
Get
look
rid of
very
it.
cool in there. The summer store was way cooler. It had all the monsters and a tiki bar. However, they do a great job with the Halloween tribute stores and the temporary seasonal offerings in this little boutique in Islands of Adventure. They have a lot of old props from previous houses. Hudson Pier, that one's from oh my god, the
Dead Man's Pier.
Dead Man's Pier. Thank God, thank you. Dead Man's Pier. They have a lot of stuff from previous clown houses, be it Carnival Graveyard. They have the bumper car. They have stuff from even Oddfellow last year, and some other Jack little secrets. And the big piece is that inside they have a big moving organ, and they have a visual component, and you see the organ pipes, and there's cockroaches crawling all in throughout, and they make a terrifying, disgusting skittering noise while you're inside. Yeah. And continuing on with the 90s grunge punk, they've released candles, fans, ornaments, retractable lanyards with a card holder, and a crossbody bag featuring that punk rock skull with Halloween Horror Nights on it that says Universal's Halloween Horror Nights, and it says 2024 sometimes. Again, this may be shared merchandise, as we've seen, as they try to unify and reduce costs on these things.
And we have that in Slaughter Cinema, and they have that in a Scare Zone.
Mm-hmm. Their scare zones make sense, though.
Yes.
Closing out our Universal Orlando news, two quick things. Universal Orlando has released a first look at the newest upcoming Universal Orlando annual pass holder button, and I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to get it. Available starting on August 15th through August 31st while supplies last. Pass holders can pick up a brand new Back to the Future inspired pin that shows the clock tower's clock with electricity flowing through it, set at 10:04, just at the exact time the lightning shot into the Hill Valley clock. So I cannot wait to pick this up. Hopefully, if you were interested in getting a reservation to the one of two nights to the Universal Orlando pass holder nights, you did it, because they sold out, ran out within less than an hour on the day it came out. That's coming up here on the 16th and 17th of August. And then finally, I don't know if you caught this one, Dave. I know Brennan's mom and sister both picked up this really good ticket deal that just came out, where now until early December, I believe, for only $200, you can go every single day to Universal Orlando or Universal Islands of Adventure for $200.
Yeah, I did see that.
Very cool deal. We all know park attendance is down for all parks, not just Universal. But $200, you go every single day. If you got it on the first day it was released, and you take it to the very end, it's under $2 a day to visit. Granted, you do not get parking included, and it only gives you admission, no other benefits, no other deals. Which is great if you know someone that has free parking and gets you in there. That wraps up our Universal Orlando segment. We're going to switch over to Disney and do some quick pieces here. A lot of this is catching up, as we know, and then some updates, and then we got plenty of new food that I want to ask Dave if he'll put in his mouth.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited for some of these pieces myself, because they released some Halloween options. Very good. First one, the test for the Star Wars Rise of Resistance is no longer in motion. They are no longer permitting or testing single rider. This was a limited time test to see how it would function, how the traffic flow and guest response. They will make a decision, not publicly, if it will return. You will know.
I don't see them not bringing that back. It seemed like it was high in guest satisfaction.
Right, and reducing the time for 60 minutes to 25 or less. Great experience. And after you do the ride the first time, and you don't need to see the pre-show and all the good stuff, which Rise of Resistance, a lot of the pre-show is really good and really essential to the ride, as we mentioned. After the first time or first few times, you're good. And then especially, you don't need to ride the ride with your family again.
No.
This is actually news that happened today, that one Magic Kingdom opened this morning, that all of Frontierland and part of Liberty Square was closed due to a sewage overflow.
Well, that would make sense in Liberty Square because it's supposed to be like that
right?
shit on the road.
Sewage spill of unknown origin forced the closure of large parts of Liberty Square and Frontierland. And as of when it happened today, at 11:45, the cavalcade was canceled and the parade was at risk of being canceled. However, they were able to reopen and have the 3 o'clock parade happen for Festival of Fantasy, and then the cavalcades did proceed throughout the day. Oh boy, that's it's rough. Some Facebook posts showed this. They were able to get there at one point and they saw some of the sewage still being kind of swept away, which really poor visual, Disney. How are you gonna let that be seen? Country Bears, Hall of Presidents, and Liberty Square Riverboat were closed. Pecos Bill was open, and you could get to the Frontierland station and Tiana's via the train station at either the front of the park or Storybook Circus. And then they had to get an actual pump. They had to get several pump trucks into the park, and they opened up backstage access by the Ye Old Christmas Shop. Old park falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully D23, that'll be the big announcement. No more sewage. We know how to pump our shit. And that's coming up. I'll plug that now. The weekend of August 9, 10, and 11, D23 will be hitting over in Anaheim. There'll be plenty of coverage for Dave and I for the show that comes out after that, and as well as at least one e-stop. I'm sure there'll be plenty of good content that I need to touch on that is coming out that day. If you're interested, Dave, or any of our dear listeners, in attending Mickey's Not So Scary, additional dates are beginning to sell out. It begins in a week or two. I believe this Tuesday is the first night for Mickey's Not So Scary, which puts us at August 6th. Some days are selling out. I believe August 6th is probably sold out. Halloween is sold out. And there are several dates in September that are starting to sell out as well. So if you're interested in going and spending $170 per person, please make sure you get your tickets while you can.
I've never done Not So Scary. I think I will one day, but I just, especially right now, the pricing is just not worth it to me with the amount of crowds.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't care about any of the entertainment or meet and greets, it's a great time. Candy and rides, short waits. Everything else, which is the real seller, the good fireworks, the good parade, the good exclusive, hard to see characters, you'll wait hours for it, as we've touched on before. Also announced today, Aerosmith is retiring as Steven Tyler's vocal injury cannot be repaired. And with that spurs up another round of rumors and speculation. Hey, is Rock and Roller Coaster finally getting a new re-theme since Aerosmith is officially no longer touring and it's not happening? I would argue no, that's not going to happen still. We got Kiss, who are fully virtualized. They gave away their likeness. They signed it away to say, yes, make us virtual AI holograms. Aerosmith's right behind them, and just like any other old, long touring or long time band, they'll get a replacement singer.
So there were many other bands in the running for that attraction, but it came down to the price that they were wanting for their likeness on that attraction.
Well, yeah, they couldn't afford. They didn't want to pay Queen.
No. That being said, I got to see Aerosmith and Kiss together in concert when I was a kid. It was phenomenal.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, that ride is... I wouldn't want to see it be anything else besides Aerosmith. It's nostalgia at this point. It fits perfectly. I don't want to see it go away, and I want to see them bring back, take back away Steve Tyler's CGI finger.
Give it back.
Take it away.
Get that finger back in there. Let him shock you.
No, take it out.
Let him shock you. No, he's gonna put the finger in. Put the finger in.
No, they took it. They added a CGI finger.
I know. Put the finger in. He's gonna shock you. Put the finger in.
Oh.
And I'll tell you the biggest reason why he'll never do it, because I don't know the exact contractual agreement. I'm sure it's in perpetuity, just like Marvel at Superhero Island. It costs them nothing to not remake the ride. It would cost them way more to remake the ride, pay new contracts, which a new contract in 2024 compared to when that had opened 98, it's going to be way more unless they use in-house, which, hey,
Plus-
you still got Muppets.
Plus, it's I don't see a retheme. It's a dated coaster anyway.
Yeah.
If Aerosmith goes away, the whole attraction goes away. To me, it's a dated ride vehicle. It's a dated coaster. So
Maybe they could put a mummy type coaster in, just a completely different concept. Make it
be
more,
interesting,
make it more Hollywood Studios, more MGM.
they need to bring back Alien Encounter and do it in a Wild Mouse style coaster.
Oh, that'd be like the Joker Dark Knight coaster in Six Flags Great Adventure. Not good. Not good.
No, not necessarily Wild Mouse, but
Okay.
Revenge of the Mummy.
Oh yeah. Or here's a good one. Make that whole section, and you take out the Lightning McQueen part. You got 2 sizable plots of land to utilize, plus the whole show building for Rock and Roller Coaster. Make that whole side Twilight Zone, and make 2 more Twilight Zone things.
Absolutely.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
You could do definitely. There's more content for that.
I agree. There's more content, but is there enough sustainability with the crowds that attend the parks? And one might argue that Twilight Zone, the Tower of Terror, it was brought up and made, even though there was no, appeal to the crowds that were coming at the time. But a lot of people forget about the terrible Twilight Zone Tower of Terror movie that came out.
The Disney Channel movie?
I don't even think it was Disney Channel. I think
official
it was
theatrical?
Disney movie. It was a theatrical.
I need to go back and watch that.
I can't remember if it came out in theaters or not, but it was a terrible movie.
God, who's the little girl? She's famous now.
I don't know. It's been so many years since I've watched that.
Oh, I have to know. I have to know. It's Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, is it really? Wow.
And Steve Guttenberg.
Wow. God.
Has a higher rating than the Haunted Mansion movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I enjoy the Haunted Mansion movie. So,
Both of them?
yes, both of them.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's put that on our list. Let's go back and watch Disney's Tower of Terror, and we'll talk about it in a future episode.
Sounds good to me.
Oh my god. All right, time for some food. See what Dave will put in his mouth here. First up, this is a changeover. Edie's is the frozen fruit bar provider across Walt Disney World and some other
I've always loved those.
ice cream treats. Outshine is replacing them. The real fruit bars, and they're pretty good.
I mean, so I've always been a fan. When I go to Hollywood Studios, I've always gotten either the frozen strawberry bar with the actual strawberries inside of it, or the classic Minute Maid frozen scoopable cup.
Oh, yeah.
So I did go to a private event at Hollywood Studios a couple years ago, and ate about 10 of the fruit bars. So
They're just free flowing, huh?
free flowing fruit bars, baby.
Well, I hope you like Outshine, because that's what you're getting now.
I don't know if I've ever had one of those, but I will try it.
Understood. All right, next up, we have the full list of food and beverages coming to Disney parks for World Princess Week 2024. And that runs August 25 through 31st. It's a lot of cakes. So I'm going to skip all those, since I don't think you're a cake fan.
Yeah, no, they're all a no.
We do have a special drink. It's not alcoholic. It's at Hollywood Studios, Fairfax Fair. It's the Belle Cup of Enchantment. Cranberry, Minute Maid, passion fruit, orange guava juice. So cranberry and pog juice topped with yellow shimmer and strawberry boba.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah,
You put a little vodka, you'd be ready to go.
It sounds good even without the liquor.
Yeah. Tiana Cone over at Magic Kingdom, white chocolate and frosted mint soft serve.
No.
No?
I do not like mint with my sweets. Even though I don't like
Oh,
sweets.
mint's the best. You slap it, you activate that mint, you're good to go.
Nah. Oh, I mean, I'm fine with that in a drink, but it's a soft serve mint chocolate chip is the worst ice cream ever invented.
Oh my
So-
God, you're wrong. You're with those nocturnal boys now. You're wrong on that. Mint chip is a delicious staple.
Well, we can agree that you're wrong.
Oh no, wrong. You're wrong. And they have other options all across Walt Disney World as well as Disneyland, Hong Kong Disneyland. It's a lot of cake, so much cake, so many little cakes that it costs a lot of money. I do
They're
have.
just- theme park cakes are overly sweet and just they're terrible.
I do have one cocktail here,
Oh, let's
only available in the Disneyland Resort. It is a cocktail inspired by the internal rose from Beauty and the Beast with notes of rose, elderflower, and blueberry. So I imagine gin and elderflower liqueur.
Okay. And that's all. That's the only
it.
description.
Rose, elderflower, and blueberry. Red rose cocktail.
Let's say yes.
Because it's the only one they got.
No, just because you said the Red Rose cocktail. We have a strip club here where I live called the Red Rose, so must be good.
Oh my God. All right, now into your Halloween offerings, which these are always usually pretty good and very exciting to try out. First one, this is for across the Walt Disney World Resort hotels. I'm going to skip again most of the desserts because it's all the same crap, guys. It's chocolate,
It's all the same
vanilla,
shit, different branded. Yeah.
with buttercream or other some sort of frosting. Sometimes they got like jimmies on it. Sometimes they got like little crispy things.
Boring.
Boring, exactly. Disney All-Star Resort. Chicken adobo nachos. That sounds pretty good.
That sounds good.
And then,
Sounds
and then this is already a good starting line because we have blue corn tortilla chips. Ooh, love that blue corn.
They always taste better when they're blue.
Yeah, blue.
I don't know why.
Anything but the white one.
It's like the Heinz ketchup that came out years ago. The purple,
Oh, the
the
purple
green,
one?
and the
Yes.
It always tasted better. I don't know why.
I was a
still
big
don't have
fan of the when the 2003 movie Hulk Hershey's chocolate syrup came out. Oh, I couldn't get enough of it. my turds were doo-doo green. So you got blue corn chips with grilled chicken adobo, toasted pumpkin seeds, dried cranberries, roasted corn pico, and a zesty pumpkin cheese sauce with a cilantro lime crema.
Yeah, let's hit it.
And it's topped with more yellow corn tortilla strips.
Okay.
So that's available at all your luxury resorts here, All Stars and Art of Animation.
That's a yeah for me.
Cookie, cupcake. They have a Mickey cinnamon roll at Disney Boardwalk.
Yeah, it depends on how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Might
How
go with
about
that.
how do you feel about macaroons?
I don't think I've ever had a macaroon, and I don't ever care to have one.
Yeah, they're popular at Toothsome. Disney has them sometimes. At Boardwalk Inn, they have a macaroon trio: pumpkin spice milk chocolate, green apple caramel chocolate, and blood orange dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
No, you're a big pumpkin fan for sure, Dave. They have a Mickey's pumpkin soft serve at the Polynesian.
Yeah, I'd give it a go. I don't
Yeah.
mind a good pumpkin spice latte every now and
Pumpkin
again. I'd give
spice
it a go.
flavored soft serve with coconut and coconut juice and caramel drizzle.
Yeah, I'd give it a try.
Yeah. Oh, here's the one that I'm really excited for. They had this last year. I was not able to get over there, but I'm going to make sure I do it this year. Over at Disney's Port Orleans Resort French Quarter at Scat Cats Club, they got the ghoulish beignets. Mickey-shaped beignets dusted with cookies and cream and a marshmallow drizzle.
Yeah, I'd try that.
Oh, yeah.
I'd try that.
I'm all that. I'm a cookies and cream whore. S'mores, cookies and cream. Oh, my God. Can't get enough.
I don't know. Ask me after next week. I'm going to New Orleans next week. I'm gonna have a couple of good beignets. There, so.
Ooh.
Gonna
Well,
go see
you're
if I
getting
can
the
find-
real deal. Dumont.
Gonna go. Yep, Cafe Du Monde. Gonna go see if I can go find Tiana and rail her out.
Whoa.
Whoa, sorry.
I don't think. I don't know if we can say that. I don't think she's old enough. You better Google that.
she-
You better Google that.
Oops.
Oops, she's a cartoon. It's not real, right? That's fine.
Right.
Dave said it, not Bill. And the two cocktails available at various lounges, pool bars, and table service restaurants for Halloween. We got two of them here. The Sea Witch Brew, which is Reposado tequila, blackberry puree, and sour mix with fresh blackberries.
Yes, that sounds
and
good.
then the Doom Ella Margarita tequila with Cabernet Sauvignon, Cointreau, triple sec, sour mix, lime juice, black cypress salt, and lime.
No.
Cabernet floater on top of your margarita.
If you say sour mix for a drink, I'm saying no.
All the garbage you drink and the sour mix is the out.
I do not like sour mix in my drinks. I
do not like them,
like
Sam I am. I will not drink sour
very
mix.
skinny margaritas made with fresh lime juice. I'm very picky.
Yeah,
I'm not a margarita guy, so if I'm having a margarita, it's going to be a strong margarita. The one of my main margaritas that I will actually drink is called a Perfect Margarita from Margaritaville. All top shelf, fresh lime juice.
Oh.
You know, none of that bullshit sour mix in there.
I'm a Grand Margarita kind of cat with a Grand Marnier on top.
Yeah, I don't like I hate going to the local Mexican restaurant and getting those bullshit dollar margaritas. I mean, I will.
Oh,
just
Chili's
to get
2
some
for
booze
1.
in me, but they're terrible. They're so sugary and just not a fan.
You gotta do the Grand or the one with the sidecar floater mini bottle Corona.
Yeah, I do like a Corona Rita every now and again.
Yeah. Alrighty, the last little food news we got here is the full list of food and beverage for the exclusive to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at Magic Kingdom. Again, we're skipping most of the desserts because it's all the same crap. Something a little different here we're going to talk about. The Graveyard Milkshake. Chocolate milkshake with a dipped graveyard jelly donut, white chocolate tombstone, gummy candy, and a Haunted Mansion straw. Sounds like too much.
I said no till they said Haunted Mansion straw. I'll buy it just for that.
There is a paper straw with Haunted Mansion wallpaper adorned.
Never mind. Never mind.
Never mind. Paper straw.
Oh yeah.
A little
if it was
different
one of those
from...
special plastic straws, you got me. But
No way. You're gonna pay $12 and get paper in your mouth.
nah.
Cinnamon apple sundae, dulce de leche ice cream with caramel apple pie filling, cinnamon candies, and whipped cream.
No.
Too caramel, gross.
Too sweet.
And then the ice cream chocolate cookie sandwich. Halloween cookies, which is a dark chocolate with M&M Ghouls mix chocolate candies, and your choice of ice cream. That sounds pretty good. I like the ice cream at Magic Kingdom.
That's a no for me.
What's the put off? The M&Ms? Don't like crunch in your cream?
Correct. I was always the one who never got the M&M McFlurry. You know, not a big fan of cold M&Ms.
Oh man, looks like they redid the entire menu this year because it looks so much better. Brennan and I went 2 years ago and it was not great food offerings. These look really good now. Jumping in there, Plaza Restaurant, they had a ghoulishly gourmet burger, 2 all-beef patties, pepper jack Swiss cheese, candy bacon, balsamic glazed mushrooms, onion ring, and a truffle buffalo aioli on a black bun that will turn your poop black.
Yes, and yes.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, I would get that in a heartbeat.
Halloween Turkey Club, a turkey club on a black sandwich bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'd eat that.
And then over at Casey's Corner, Chipotle barbecue pork and street corn French fries. Oh man. Yes. French fries with fire roasted corn, queso fresco, and cilantro, and shredded pulled pork.
I'm in.
And then they have a version of it where it's a hot dog with all the stuff on the fries, but it's a hot dog instead.
I'm in.
And then same thing. They're mini corn dogs topped with the Chipotle barbecue pork and street corn.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
Oh, I don't know how you feel about this. I'm also a whore for these things. Worms and dirt, cup of dirt, worms and dirt churro.
Yeah, I do love some Oreo cookie sprinkle on some gummy worms. Yeah,
love me a cup of dirt.
Dude, that's yeah. I mean, that's a nostalgic thing. That's
shit.
sure.
I might have to go to this thing just to try the food because it looks banging. Over at Pico's Bill, grilled masa flatbread, grilled corn cake with butternut squash puree, braised chicken, pumpkin seed sauce, lettuce, pico, queso fresco.
I'd try it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it.
No, yeah, I got you. Cajun burger, Cajun all beef burger with fried green tomato, Cajun andouille dip, and Creole remoulade on a black doo-doo bun.
Yes, yeah, I'd
Yeah.
go for that. Yeah, I'd get
We got char siu chicken wings. Oh,
Yeah. If they've got a good kick to them, yeah, I'd go for that. I don't know what char siu is, but sure.
so a good sauce. Good sauce.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
And then, oh my god, it just keeps going. Let's see what else is good here. Spicy meatball flatbread, creepy clam flatbread, sweet and spicy chicken strips. Whoa,
I'd
beer.
try
Try
all that. And
I'd probably
go out of my way for the clam flatbread because it sounds interesting.
Oh man, Be Our Guest has beef short rib and purple potatoes. Roasted beef marrow bone? I've never had that.
I've always wanted to have some good bone marrow, so.
Here's something very interesting. I don't know if it's been just so long since I've been to Be Our Guest, but they are selling the Handsome Brute, a Tito's vodka, champored liqueur, pomegranate juice, lemon juice, with a sugared grim, a full liquor cocktail at Be Our Guest.
Wow, I thought it was only wine there for a good while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good. I've never eaten a Be Our Guest. Never went out of my way to eat there.
Used to be good.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It just like most theme park restaurants, after a couple years, they let it slide.
All right, we got plenty more. I'm going to get through these real quick. You just say yes or no as I say them. Spicy pork spring roll with pineapple.
Yes.
Bone-in piggy wings fried with fresh jalapenos and Coca-Cola cherry barbecue sauce.
I wouldn't buy it, but I'd try it.
Oh yeah, I'd take a bite. Buffalo chicken hand pie with mozzarella cheese.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah, man. Oh my god.
I'm a big buffalo guy.
Sinister saute burger. Cocoa rubbed beef patty with bacon, lime pickles, Thai peanut sauce.
Yes.
Halloween pot roast sandwich, cheddar and horseradish mayonnaise on a black bun.
I'm a sucker for horseradish, so yes. Food. You had just said the piggy wings, I think.
Piggy wings. Then we got the terrifying twice spiced chicken sandwich, spicy fried chicken dipped in hot honey with pepper jack cheese, jalapeno poppers, and bacon.
Yes, let's get it.
All right, then here's where we might take a turn. Candy corn soft serve.
No. Candy corn's the worst fucking thing ever invented. I remember a few years ago when Halloween Horror Nights first did their mixed cups. And
the candy corn drink.
Non-alcoholic candy corn slushy. And it... Oh, my God. Fuck you.
God
you
damn,
like
that was
corn.
vile. Vile.
God. All right, I don't even know if I want to go through the rest of the foods anymore.
I only got two more.
Okay, fine.
The candy corn
Anything
soft serve
for
also comes with butter. It's a butterscotch shell, like the magic shell, and actual candy corn on top. God.
I'm gagging in my butt.
They also have a sweet corn soft serve.
I don't mind sweet corn. I'll try that.
Oh, sweet corn soft serve just reminds me of Fat Bastards, like just eating what he just shat out.
Oh, God. Why would you do that to me?
Oh, but I didn't have any corn. Fat Bastard sweet corn soft serve. And then your jalapeno popper dog.
Yes.
Hot dog topped with sriracha
Yes.
cream cheese, crispy onions, bacon, and Hades relish. Woo!
We have this pizza place next to us that makes a jalapeno popper pizza with cream cheese.
Oh,
and,
man.
Oh, it's so good.
We gotta go there next time I come visit.
Oh, next time you come visit, I also got to make our homemade jalapeno poppers.
Ooh. I didn't mention that some of these food items we did talk about are available during regular park hours. Go ahead and you can go on Disney's official channels and find them yourself, which makes it easy for me. I can go there and eat all this good stuff and not pay the extra money. A new pass holder magnet is coming soon for Walt Disney World pass holders. It's going to be Lion King themed Timon and Pumbaa. Disney has begun tree removal on Dinosaur. The tabloids would say this is closure likely for the imminent closure is likely for Dinosaur. No, they remove the trees. They remove some trees and some smaller foliage when it's hurricane season just to save them the trouble. They do this every year. Not to say that Dinosaur won't close at the end of the year, but this is a normal procedure.
This does remind me, I meant to say during our Horror Nights portion, and this reminds me because I just recently, for the first time, watched Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and it wasn't as bad as people said it was. I mean, it wasn't great, but
fine.
It wasn't terrible. I mean, if you make me pick between that and Crystal Skull, I'm probably picking the Dial of Destiny, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I rewatched everything, and I watched the first three pretty frequently. I rewatched Crystal Skull. That one's also not as bad as people purported. I like it. It's actually pretty good, I'd argue.
Yeah, I didn't mind Dial of Destiny. I thought it was pretty good. But the reason I say that is I did watch the new Ghostbusters. I don't think we mentioned that. And which was, I went into it with very, very low standards because I've heard so many bad things about it. I didn't think it was that bad. I don't know how it's going to fit as a haunted house. There were a lot of forced cameos.
I lost you.
A lot of forced cameos and forced callbacks to the old movies, which were fun, but at the same time, it was just too forced. Garaka was pretty interesting and neat, so I'm excited to see where they go with that in a haunted house. But
probably still
in our history of Ghostbusters haunted houses, it's just a movie funhouse walkthrough. So I don't see it being very scary. Not as bad of a movie as people said it was.
Well, I have a lot of issues that are not theme park related and not related to the show. But why is everyone a goddamn Ghostbuster now? Every single person.
Yeah, that's and there's a lot. There are some continuity issues with the plot, and at 1 second Winston's funding the whole Ghostbusters brigade, and the next second he's bitching because she. For one reason or another, I don't want to use any spoilers because it's so fairly new, and then the next second he's a Ghostbuster again, it's like, make up your mind, some continuity issues, still a fun watch if you go into it with a
not a scary
very low
house.
Standard.
Won't be
not
a scary house.
No.
Continuing on, you might have a little bit more on this than I do, Dave. They've announced for the new Disney Destiny cruise ship they will be having I found out another Aqua Mouse, which includes screens and has a whole full storyline, and this one will be Disney Animation Villains, and will be called Sing a Silly Song as Mickey and Minnie lead guests on a seemingly ominous trek to the peak of Villain Mountain, and they encounter Chernabog, Queen of Hearts, Scar, and others, which damn, that's really exciting.
So imagine a aqua coaster lift, very tight and closed space, screens on the side, very similar to the Jurassic World attraction at Universal Studios Hollywood, where you go through, you see the screens on the side. They have sprayers in there.
Much smaller though in scale, not those gigantic
obviously.
Screens.
Very tight and closed space. I watched the making of the Disney Wish on Disney Plus very recently, and they kind of covered that. It's going to be very interesting, very neat. I'd be excited to go into it. I rode the original Aqueduct on the Disney Dream, which was a fun little water coaster. It's very, very mild when it comes to the realm of aqua coasters, but it's on a cruise ship, so I mean it's cool,
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm very excited that this cruise is gonna be very villain themed, haunted mansion. I've got to go when it opens. I've got to go.
I think it also announced in the Disney Destiny that they're going to have the Haunted Mansion bar that we both want to see real bad, the Jungle Cruise, and then a Cruella de Vil bar as well now, or a lounge.
Chernabog, I saw the media picture. Chernabog's always been one of my favorite Disney villains, if not
same.
my favorite Disney villain. So I'm all for it.
Thankfully, he looks really good still in that style of animation that they went with.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm excited for that. Have to look some more into that, and happy for it to come out.
Yeah, I look forward to your additional information on all the new cruise ship announcements that we've been getting in the past 2 weeks. and whatever else comes D23 cruise wise. You
I
you
will,
are the
I will look up
cruiseman.
some more stuff on that. It's very interesting. If you haven't checked out the making of the Disney Wish on Disney Plus, it's very interesting how they build those ships over in Germany, and then all the process that goes into the making of those ships on the interior wise with the design and the creative. So
Yeah,
definitely check that out if you
I'm
haven't yet.
still counting my days to get on to one of them, and it sounds like with every new boat announced, it's like, oh, I want to go on that one. No, I'm going on that one because I'm not going to do a bunch of Disney cruises simply for numerous variables.
I've
But
always
the
said if
Destiny-
you want to go onto a cruise to party and drink, Disney is not your cruise to go on. If you love Disney shows and you love Broadway
you
style
want
shows,
the floating theme park.
and it's not even necessarily a floating theme park, but the shows in the Walt Disney Theater on those boats, they are Broadway style shows. I remember watching a show called The Golden Mickeys, where it was just a highlight of all the classics, musics and stuff like that. It made me come to tears, and I saw it multiple times. They had a show called Villains Tonight, hosted by Hades. It was hilarious, and just great shows, a lot of fun, definitely worth it. And the great thing about Disney cruises nowadays is, the prices of theme parks keep going up. You can do a family of 4 on a Disney cruise for cheaper than you can do a week at a Disney park.
Right,
So,
food and bed included. Mm-hmm. I just really want to be in the Haunted Mansion Lounge and live there. That and the
leave
Jungle Cruise, and I just bounce back and forth, and then go on the Aquamouse.
for sure.
Something we're not getting over on the East Coast, and that has already debuted, not only in California but as well as Paris. Deadpool is wandering around California Adventure and Disneyland Paris in the Avengers Campus area as a meet and greet, and Wolverine has also joined him from the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie. I'm sure you've seen it by now. If you've listened to the show, it's very good, very exciting.
I have not seen the movie. I have seen the meet and greet, though.
But yes, the meet and greet is super cool. Nothing R-rated, but he's making some good fourth wall jabs and talking a little bit of crap about the parks, and he does a story time, and he was riding on a unicorn, like a little ride on unicorn that kids are supposed to ride on the other day. Really, really cool stuff. Highly recommend checking out some YouTube videos of that, but it's, again, damn it, we can't have this cool stuff.
Yeah. Which,
yeah.
actually, we could, because Deadpool is not featured at Islands of Adventure.
Ugh.
So, technically, if they wanted to bring him to the Orlando parks, they could.
Yeah, but every time Disney brings something or does something, it's very limited, very short time. Because they had the Guardian face characters here for a little bit
Correct.
at Hollywood Studios.
They have the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction.
They have the
so,
attraction.
So, a lot of people speculate that the contract is, and it's a little less speculation, more so known, that east of the Mississippi, Walt Disney World cannot do any Marvel characters that are already represented at Universal Orlando Resort. So, no Hulk, no Spider-Man, no Doctor Doom.
Well, no, like hundreds of characters because they're represented on those artist depictions in the island.
Yes, but I do not believe Deadpool is part
On
of
there.
Marvel Superhero Island.
I don't believe so either. Returning back to the East Coast, Tortuga Tavern over in Adventureland has reopened as Tortuga Treasures, which is now a temporary pop-up gift shop as they continue to do construction on the main gift shop exit to Pirates of the Caribbean. It's no longer a seasonal food service option, which you had some good food. It's now just gift shop area and some exterior seating as they continue to do construction and expansion work for the Pirates of the Caribbean gift shop, as well as the defunct closed permanently Pirates League, where the speculative bar lounge will be opening probably next year at this point. I imagine D23, they'll announce an opening date for that. I wish they put it in Tortuga's Tavern, Dave. That Pirates League space is so small.
Yes, for sure.
Continuing on Epcot's alleged completion, they've added Flex Space Throw Shade, which is those mesh shade triangles that are in the sky. they added those to Epcot. So bravo, Epcot. You've done it again. You've done it once a fucking again. There it is. And then some fun news to close out Disney before we switch over to Universal Studios Hollywood. I'm sure you saw this picture, Dave. At the end of July, the trams at Disney's Animal Kingdom were temporarily shut down for a very, very interesting reason. Oh, okay, good. Do you want to elaborate on what happened here?
Somehow a vehicle backed into one of the barricades that keep people from driving onto the tram track. And they ended up with their whole rear axle of their car on top of the barricade. These barricades sit probably about 4 foot high. And
yeah, they are concrete poles, at least a foot or two into the concrete, down into the asphalt. And I mean, I don't know how you did it. They must have floored it.
Oh, they were moving. They were moving. That's for sure. Because
the like you said, the rear axle completely off the ground, and the pole is almost in the center of the vehicle at this point.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You got to be moving to do that. So
I believe the trams are now fully running. The car's been removed probably on the day of the accident, but my God.
They got a tow truck out there and rip that thing off.
Oh my God. And posted at the end of July. This happened on July 12th. Dave, are you familiar with Rainforest Cafe at Disney Springs?
Yes, I am. I've eaten there once, I believe.
Yeah, and then they have a structured volcano that shoots flame out the top every so often, right?
Yes, correct.
So there was a video captured on July 12th and then reported again on the 30th by New York Post that there was a squirrel walking around the rim at the top of the volcano and the fucking thing shot off. The large fire eruption occurred, nearly cooking him. He got out.
God.
The squirrel's alive, but in the video, you could see that his tail, all the hair got singed off, and he just has bone tail now. The skin's there, but it just looks like a skin-covered bone.
Oh man, that's great.
Oh,
I'm glad he's okay.
Squirrel, but yeah, he made it.
Jeez.
Yeah, indeed, Jesus, indeed.
Wow.
Woo! Good stuff today. Oh wait, we don't have just Halloween Horror Nights news. We still have to talk about Harry Potter, but we'll save that one since you all can go back to the e-stop and go back to episode 26.
Yeah, go to the e-stop. We'll touch on that more.
But yeah, we do want to give an unfiltered and full conversation on that between Dave and I, and you'll get that in episode 28. So to close out the show, our last topic will be Universal Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood. They've released a lot of details since our last conversation on them. I don't have the spec map pulled in front of me, Dave, so I don't recall where what goes, who will be where.
Neither do I.
And there's also a few things not announced, such as the Terror Tram, and I believe maybe one more house. I would have to double check that. Right before we jump into that, however, Universal Studios Hollywood, the Universal City Walk over there, they are also doing some renovations on their City Walk offerings, and they have announced that an official Hello Kitty cafe and shop is coming to Universal City Walk. And I know at Comic-Con and other places they have pop-up booths, pop-up food trucks. This Hello Kitty thing is going to be bonkers. It's going to be very, very popular.
Very much so.
So we have some that to look forward to. So for Universal Studios Hollywood, they have less houses. They have a little bit smaller scale, but it definitely looks like a stronger lineup as far as our IPs and maybe overall as an event. I don't know how you feel about it, Dave, but I feel like Universal Hollywood is very strong, very exciting, and new stuff that we haven't maybe seen before. It's more enticing. Now, the execution is always a little bit more limited due to them having less permanent spaces, and they have to use a lot of tense and fitting and squeezing things into pre-established areas. Nonetheless, when I went last year with my dad and ZJ, rockin' time, absolutely killer. So with that preamble, let's get into, we'll start with the Scare Zone announcements, and then they had one house announcement since our last conversation. The first one here is the Luchadors Monstros Scare Zone, which the art looks fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
You're about to get caught in the middle of a lucha libre horror film. Two luchadors are going to the mat against a horde of masked monsters. That's so cool. That
is cool. That's
and the art has
and...
yeah, it has what appears to be two demons with their horns shooting out of the luchador masks, and demon claws, and their chests are exposed. And then it's like a really good well made B horror movie where the luchadors are fighting monsters. Oh, that's gonna be a really fun zone. A lot of good interactions, I'm assuming, between the good guy luchadors and the bad guy luchador monsters.
Oh, for sure.
Looking forward to the videos here. I don't know the location. I have to think this is probably near Monstros, the haunted house. Monstros 2.
It's probably going to be, I would assume, in the Parisian courtyard.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense, where they had the
Monstrous house last year.
Well, yeah, the Monstrous house last year. I'm just
yeah.
thinking of what the Scare Zone was there last year. I can't recall.
It was it the female monsters?
Mm-mm.
Or no, that was Paris.
It was like undead guys and like mummies. I don't know, something of that sort.
Yeah.
The next Scare Zone they announced, which, hey, really falls in line with our current merchandise lineup, the Chainsaw Punks.
Yep, which is going to be in our Slaughter Cinema.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's cut and dry. A lot of the Scare Zones are what they sound like at Hollywood. Chainsaw Punks, get revved up for your night of terror as soon as you enter. Chainsaw wielding punk rockers with masks and mohawks will close in on you. Chainsaws are always a staple of Horror Nights, but we haven't had that. We didn't have that last year at Orlando. We didn't have a chainsaw drill team.
No, we haven't had a true drill team since
for a while. Since they had all the
2011 maybe.
Well, no, didn't we have did we have a true drill team in 18 or 19 when every zone was chainsaws?
I cannot remember if we had a true drill team. The last true drill team I remember was 2010, I think, and then the Lady Luck Minions had chainsaws in 2011.
Right. We had clown saws, and then the lady inmate saws. When they had every Scare Zone with saws, which was
I don't know. It all run together. It all runs together.
Chainsaw Punks, punk rockers, and chainsaws can't get much better than that. Up next is I believe a returning or a reimagining of a previous one. They had these super cool scarecrow peg stilt walkers with the 4 pegs.
They were
tall.
just characters in another Scare Zone.
Okay.
They were just part of another Scare Zone.
So that this is the evolution of it. They made a full Scare Zone.
They're getting their own. Yeah. And actually, I don't know if it was that they were over in the area where you walk from the Wizarding World back to the Curious George parking area, or not the Curious George, the back parking area.
Yep.
Last year, so I don't know if they were an official Scare Zone, but yes, they were really cool characters.
And they got their own zone now. Murder of Crows. You've foolishly ventured into a massive crow's nest. Now the fearsome flock will defend its territory by descending upon you in a feathered rage and pecking your bones clean. And it has the main crow stilt walker that I have ingrained in my brain in front and center with his little hat. And they were really, really cool. And again, we'll Dave and I will have to, unfortunately, just have to watch videos this year. But we'll give our opinions and thoughts based on our viewing from that, which will be a little charged and biased because of it's only a video. But we'll do our best. Finally, we have Skull Lords. All hail the royal court of the undead, where Gothic kings and queens reign. Beware! cross into their spectral kingdom at your own peril. So it kind of sounds like our torture fair, but everyone's already a skeleton.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Hey.
It'll be cool. Murdy usually does a really good job with character design over there, and they usually release the concept art, and the drawings are always really neat to look at. So.
Something I really admire and like. Similar to James Gunn when he's working on movies, he'll just flat out say, yes, this is happening. No, that's a lie. Here's the picture.
Yeah.
And our house announcement. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Legacy of Leatherface.
Yes, I would love to go to this house. I loved
God.
the house. I loved the house in 2021.
Yep.
So
that was the most recent appearance.
Yep. So it sounds great. So they're gonna have Chop Top, and they're gonna do all the highlighted kills, and it sounds like from what Murdy was saying, you're going to the slaughterhouse where the Macabre family has taken over and decided to hide out in because it's a great place as a front for their killings. So
yeah, and this is something really cool and interesting. We haven't seen something like this in a while at either coast from what I can recall. The description here first. Fall victim to Leatherface and his cannibalistic kin as they lure you into their gore-filled slaughterhouse in a gruesome original story. So this, I mean, Dave, this might be the antithesis to your pure hatred. This is an original IP.
No, it's an IP.
With an original story.
Original story.
Oh.
It's not.
I mean, we've seen this before in the Nightmare on Elm Street house.
The end of Poltergeist.
And of Poltergeist, the Friday the 13th house before when they did before. But man, these
Camp
are
Blood.
some really inspired. Yeah, Camp Blood.
Yeah.
These are some really inspired houses when you're able to take the IP and really twist it into an original setting. And this one's really, really interesting because this year it's the 50th anniversary of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And inside the house, it will feature all 9 iterations of Leatherface in here. And as you said, Dave, the signature kills, the iconic scenes, and Murdy at Midsummer Scream said this will be one of the most oppressive scent-filled houses you've ever walked through.
Which our house in 2021 was also very scent driven.
You get that rotten meat. Ooh. Oh man, I'm sour. I'm sour. I'm meat sour because I can't go see that house. I really want to see that.
According to Murdy, he really let Gunnar Henson's statements influence how this house was going to go. You know, because Gunnar, the guy who played the original Leatherface, said Leatherface has no personality. That's why he wears the masks for different occasions. If he's, you know, he's got his kill mask and he's got his dinner mask where he's the nice lady with the makeup on. He's got his old woman mask where he's doing the dishes in the kitchen. You know, and he said you're going to go through there and see all these different iterations of Leatherface. And the first scene when you walk into the house is going to be a wall with all the masks laid out on the wall of different Leatherface personalities. It's going to have my favorite character, Chop Top, in it, which
one's he from?
Chop Top was from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. He is the character that has come back from Vietnam. He's Leatherface's other brother that you don't see in the first movie, and he's got the metal plate in his head that he scratches with the coat hanger. He is also played by what's his face? He's played by Otis from the Firefly family, from the Rob Zombie films. What is his name? Hold on. Looking it up right now.
Oh yeah, I always liked the radio sub story or the radio people in Texas Chainsaw 2. So much fun.
Bill Moseley is the guy who played Chop Top. Chop Top is the the character scene that asks for a tour of the studio when he comes in. So,
Gotcha.
great character.
It's gonna be an exceptional house.
Yes, for sure.
And really, that kind of inspiration and passion towards that IP and pushing themselves to get the permission to use it.
Well, you know,
Hollywood
we
gives
already,
me that right now.
They already kind of did that because our house in 2021 was not a copy for copy scene of the movie. It was, you know, Chop Top wasn't it? It was a conglomeration of multiple movies. So.
Right. Well, I'll be looking forward to the video. Unfortunately, I won't be able to see it. Maybe we can get a good friend of ours to come on and talk about it after their personal walkthrough. That'd be very appreciated.
For sure.
All right, Dave. As much as I love talking with you and giving the good word to our friends out there, our dear listeners, we're wrapping up the show. We're getting to our closing segments. And we, as of with our 2 episodes ago, we've transitioned to a new bit that Dave's enjoying, and then we will have the Wall of Shame. Or do you want the Wall of Shame first?
Do the Wall of Shame first.
All
Go
right.
ahead and throw it out there.
And we'll get the closing notes out of the way. Wall of Shame is something you see in person or online that just really irks you at a theme park, and you're saying, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you wasting my time? And why are you doing this? You can submit your own Park Talk Radio across all socials at Park Talk Radio. Email parktalkradio@gmail.com or text message or voicemail 407-490-2220. Wall of Shame, I'll let you start.
I think I may have touched on this before, but it's been a while, so I'm going to throw it out there again.
Look, I get pissed about the same fucking thing every day.
I can't remember. You and I bitch about everything, so I can't remember if I've talked about this on the show or not. People that decorate their service animal and dress them up and then get pissed when people stare at them or go to touch them. People post a picture of their little dog that's probably not even a service animal to begin with. It's probably an emotional support animal, which is not a service animal. If you need it, more power to you. I'm fine with that. Quit posting decorated pictures of your service animal dressed up. If you need your service animal, you knew, that's great. But nobody... I don't care to see what your service animal is dressed up like. It's not an accessory. It is a tool. It is an extension of you.
They're there to do a job.
Needed. I'm grateful that you're able to enjoy the parks with your disability by using a service animal. But, you know, I've seen too many people, and maybe it's a couple people that create a bad name for everybody else, that decorate their service animal, dress them all up, and they get pissed when people take a picture or look at their service animal or ask to pet it. You know, you're at a theme park, quit decorating your accessory. It's not an accessory. It is an extension of you. It is your tool.
Goddamn right.
Just pisses me off online. I'm sorry.
No. I don't think you need to apologize for this one.
Not discriminating against your disability. I just don't need to see your damn service animal dressed up. Or if you do, don't get mad when people want to take pictures or come say hi.
Well, yeah, it looks inviting when they're themed to the event that they're at, right?
Yeah, for sure.
and this is my wall of shame, but I'm gonna piggyback off yours real quick. Don't excessively and intrusively decorate your fucking ECV or your wheelchair that gets in the way of my walking path. And you know the one, you know the exact one I'm talking about.
I know
at
exactly
Hard
who.
the exact
exactly
one
who
that
you're
looks like
talking
a
about.
goddamn parade train, and it blocks the path every time. And it's
lit up with lights.
Yep,
and
the lights, and it's
bat
extended,
wings
and there's additional wheels and barbs and poles. It's a real look at me. I'm the main character, motherfucker. Get out of here. Don't do that. You're in the way, and then you won't turn your fucking lights off in the house.
Yeah.
My wall of shame, as it's very topical. You might say tropical. This weekend here in Florida, there is a tropical depression or a named tropical storm coming through. And Dave, I couldn't tell you how many. Every other one. Is Disney open tomorrow? Is Disney open tomorrow? Are they going to be open? Is Universal open? Am I scared? Should I be scared to go? Is it safe to go? Can I go? Will they be open? Will they refund me? Will they refund me if they're open? They're not going to be fucking open if it's unsafe. They will not be open. If they're open, it's fine to go. They decided, and they're not, as I've said many, many times, They're not in the business of not making money. They're not in the business of paying out lawsuits.
Do you have a specific one you were going to talk about? Because I saw one that I want to piggyback off.
No, I have no specific one. Just the unruly amount.
When I was looking for my wall of shame tonight, somebody posted, "When this storm comes through, will the indoor rides remain open if the storm gets really bad?"
Well, hold on. I as much as I hate that, and I'm very upset. If it does rain enough, some of those queues to get into the line into the entrance from the outside can get flooded, and they will close because of that. And that did happen that did happen at Universal the other day.
The person that posted this wasn't asking that question.
No, I know. I know.
You can tell.
I know. If the park is open, it's safe to go. If you don't feel safe, then you don't go. It's that simple. If they
Just
close
like
the
COVID.
park, you will
Just
get a
like COVID.
refund. If you have a day-and-date ticket, you will get a refund. That's it. Fuck off. All right, let's talk about something positive.
So we're going to go through our houses from 2016 to 2021 and mention our favorite houses of that year. I'm going to start off with 2026, my favorite house of that year.
Future House?
Oh, sorry, 2016. 2016, my favorite house of that year. It was not one of my favorite years, and it was very hard for me to pick a house that I liked because I didn't like most of
I
them.
thought this was an easy pick.
Tomb of the Ancients was my favorite house that year.
100% agree. Tomb of the Ancients was the best house that year. It's an easy pick. And I was telling Dave earlier, I've been told I'm trash. That is a terrible pick. One of the worst houses that's ever been made.
Oh, is that the one that you
Yes,
thought
that's the
people-
one. Tomb of the Ancients
Wow.
is my pick.
Wow.
And they're saying, yeah, that's a bad house. Bad representation. Bad. Not scary.
If you thought that was bad, go through the Walking Dead house. Go through Halloween, Hell Comes to Haddonfield, which was...
Oh, bad Halloween house. Which
That
is hard to
was
do. It's hard to make a bad Halloween house.
Yeah.
Tomb of the Ancients, I want to just go on that real briefly. The sarcophagus hieroglyphic room where they do a full darkness blackout, and then the hieroglyphics on the wall start flashing multiple colors, and it's a triple scare. Oh, I just remember it so fondly. So good. Special shout out to Lunatic's Playground 3D. I love that house. Fuck you. You're wrong if you don't like that one. Good house.
It was trash.
And also,
Trash.
it was the final year of The Walking Dead. It was finally over.
So, Bill, go ahead and hit me with your 2017.
Oh, 2017, also very easy pick. I was so excited that we had back-to-back years where there was an exceptional house that was one of the best. And for 2017, this is one of the best houses I've ever been in. I had a very privileged walkthrough where I went at the end of the night. I was a little buzzed, and I was the only one in the house. So they got me good. They got me good. Full of aggression. A very, very reminiscent of a Forsaken cast, because a lot of people who were in Forsaken were in this one as well. And just the passion to it. And this is Scarecrow, the Reaping. The Reaping.
I did not like that house.
Oh, well, just as I described it, that run through, fucking good. That house is an easy pick, and that's a rumored house to be part of the opening lineup for the permanent attraction in Las Vegas.
So, my 2017 favorite house was Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure Farewell Tour.
All right, that's not a house, but I'll allow it.
Honorable mention of, and a lot of people probably call me trash for this, Hive.
No,
really
Hive.
liked Hive.
Hive slaps. That was that was supposed to be something
it was
different
supposed to be
house.
Scream. It was
Scream.
supposed to be Scream.
Right, Scream. That's happened a couple
it's ve-
times. The Purge was supposed to be
was-
Scream. The Hive was supposed to be Scream.
Actually,
Hive's good.
no. I'm sorry. Hive was supposed to be Insidious.
Insidious or Conjuring? No, Conjuring.
Conjuring.
Because he had the basement
Conjuring.
scene.
Yes.
Sorry,
Scream was Purge.
Purge. Yes.
Conjuring was Hive.
The Hive.
Hive
was
was
good.
very. A lot of people didn't like it. I really enjoyed it because it was very reminiscent of Salem's Lot-esque.
Oh
house.
yeah. Good house. Hive is a good house. It's not
I enjoyed it.
Scarecrow, but man,
A lot of people didn't like it.
that's
I'm gonna go ahead to my 2018.
Yes.
which was one of my favorite years of the more recent years.
A solid year for sure.
My favorite house was Slaughter Cinema.
You got your wish. Second one.
Yep. Honorable mentions of Poltergeist. Just that opening scene when you're walking through the underground portion was terrifying.
Through the pool? Oh, yeah, that's a
Pool.
really good facade.
It was great because in those underground portions, every time you went through, you were blind pretty much.
Oh, yeah, the lightning bolts and so much water. Mm-hmm. So much water shooting you.
Also, an honorable mention of Seeds of Extinction. A lot of people didn't like that, but I loved it because every time I went through that house, I did not remember where those characters were coming from because they blended in with their surroundings so well. And then another honorable mention of Stranger Things, the first iteration, mostly because it was my first house of the year that year, and I was the first person in that house of the night, and I was so blind at the end when I was walking through. I walked straight into a boo hole and hugged a Demogorgon on accident.
Oh,
and then the light flashed on. They hit the scare cue hit, and the light flashed, and I am face to chest with a Demogorgon, and it was magnificent.
I love that story. So good. 2018, you may say it, but Season of Extinction, favorite house of the year. Best house for me. Super good scares. They had that big biplane that crashed through the wall. And this was really like a dry run for how they want Last of Us to look, which when that one came out. So very good. And then I mentioned to Dave, and he did not agree. But second place is Carnival Graveyard. Really good house. Super great pathway they created for the walkthrough. And they had this really cool effect where a clown way above you on the second story would release a lever or a pull rope, and these two large oil barrels would crash into each other. You do that 100+ times a night, they break, and they stop fixing them. And when that effect went away, it was
like
less
the
good.
Ringmaster. I think that the clown was in a different portion of that.
Oh,
I think he was the Ringmaster.
2018, man, years ago.
Oh yeah, I know.
But I remember the effect.
You may be right.
I mean, I remember
yes,
the effect
I do remember
vividly.
the effect very vividly because it was loud.
Yeah, loud, super scary. People would just drop to the floor as soon as it happened. And like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
And
I was not a fan
it.
of that house.
I know. 2019. Woo.
You go first here, bud.
A little rough.
There's only one right answer.
There's one right answer? Oh, no. I feel like I need to change my answer then. I mean, I can tell you what I've written down. I'm trying to remember.
Tell me what you've written down.
I'm trying to hold on. I'm trying to remember what other houses were because now I'm scared. Then I'm gonna offend you. I definitely don't want to do that.
Probably.
Oh no. Okay, this is not the house. This is not the year I'm thinking of. Okay, so what I've written down, pretty close tie. I have Universal Monsters, the first true one that they meant to do, not the makeup house.
I'm not gonna hurt you for that.
Universal Monsters, and then really close right behind it. It could be, depending on the night, Yeti, Terror of the Yukon.
That was the only right answer.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say Killer Clowns because that's your jam.
No. I didn't like I love the Scare Zone. I wasn't a huge fan of the house. I love the movie.
House was a lot of fun though.
House was fun. It just wasn't the greatest house that year. Mine is also Yeti Terror of the Yukon. I remember my last walkthrough. I was by myself walking through it, pretty much. And you may have been with me. I'm not sure. This was the last run of the last night of my event that year. And walked around the corner into the big ice cave, and the Yeti that was standing on top of the ice cave and the Yeti that was down at the bottom were out of their boo holes playing rock, paper, scissors with each other, and then saw us and then stopped and then tried to scare us, and it was great. Funny experience.
Those defining moments can really turn the house from bad to good, or this is the house. This is it this year.
And I guess I'll hit 2020 with you have two options. Mine was obviously Tooth Fairy.
Oh, I thought we were doing 21 to include everything.
Well, do 2020 and 2021 because I don't think one of those two is going to be your favorite in 2021.
Correct.
So 2020, my favorite was Tooth Fairy. It wasn't a great house, but it was great for what we had.
Right. I only got to do the two. I tried to go to Beetle. They had So 2020 they didn't have the full event. They had houses made, and due to COVID they didn't run the event. Terrible day. I was bedridden. But they did open for a limited time, 2 houses. Then for 1 day only, they had another house. I got there, Dave, at like 7:45, and they had a virtual queue for Beetlejuice, and it was already gone.
I remember going toward the middle of October and being able to go through Tooth Fairy and Bride of Frankenstein Lives over and over and over with only a walk on each time.
Oh, it was so good.
It was nice. Plexiglass sucked.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
You know, having to pull my mask down to try and smell the smells. You know, it was better than nothing.
Well, yeah, let's not linger on it too long. What's your 21 house?
Oh, let's see. Wicked Growth with an honorable mention of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, fuck Wicked Growth.
What?
That's the Pumpkin Lord house, right?
Go fuck yourself. Yes, it was a beautiful house.
So I love the house. I thought it was good and scary, but them making Pumpkin Lord a mascot the next year really detracted from the house after the fact.
It did detract from the house. During the actual house, it was great. The visuals were great. The spell book in the witch's room was fantastic.
Oh, man, and then the big boy at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful house. Very well done. Very creepy.
Good smells.
Great scares. Good smells. Texas Chainsaw. I love the facade scene when you walk in and you see the gas station. I've actually been to that gas station, which is now a barbecue restaurant in Texas. I've been there, seeing the original gas station in person. The smells and then just I just enjoyed that house, and a lot of people didn't.
Well, it's hard to pick that as your favorite when my favorite, Case Files Legendary Truth, exists in the same year.
Ooh, yes.
So, man, easy pick. This spawned the myth and story of Mossman.
Mossman.
Oh my God, Mossman. So fucking good, that house.
Oh, wait. This was 2021? God.
Yeah.
See, I didn't totally miss that one.
Oh, easy pick. Easy dub.
Yeah.
Case Files, not a chance against any other house. Is so good. And it was the pick. You know, ZJ, Brennan, and I were the last ones to go through on the last night of the event.
Yes. And, you know, a lot of people don't like it, but I'll give an honorable mention to Welcome to Scary. You only like that house if you had been going for multiple years.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I like the Easter eggs and the story behind it.
Yeah. So.
Oh, good picks. Good picks there.
Yeah.
Some of them don't know, but I'd be interested if you would be willing to listen to my picks for the years you didn't go to. I've been going since 2002.
Yes,
you'll take them.
I would like to do that in an episode. Yeah.
And then you can read the descriptions and you can pick what you would have picked, maybe just based on that.
I know all the houses.
Oh,
I just didn't get to experience them. So yeah,
cool.
I'd be good. I could even say my number one that I wish I could go back to and go to. So I mean, yeah, for sure.
Scream House every time.
Scream House.
Well, thank you all so much. We know it's a long episode. We really appreciate your patience as we get the schedules ironed out. We get geared up and ready for this Halloween Horror Night season. We got D23 this upcoming weekend. The show drops on Monday. E-stops are coming for D23. We got plenty more to talk about. We got to talk about Wizarding World, Harry Potter, Ministry, Magic. We got more Horror Nights. We got this crazy overnight Horror Nights event at a different Universal location. And we're going to talk more park as we continue along. And then as soon as Halloween starts and we get to do our events, we'll be talking about all the events we check out, our Horror Nights reviews. Next week, to keep us honest, we're going to talk about our pre-hype ratings for Halloween Horror Nights Orlando. And if Hollywood finishes up their lineup, we'll also talk about that one. And if you may notice, some of our show notes will be a little different. We're trying to utilize and be more efficient and remove some overhead work. So thank you for your indulgence on those as well. Dave, that's all I got. Anything else from you tonight, buddy?
Don't pee on the electric fence.
We'll see you in the park.